Okay, Tommy.
Yeah, beautiful day in beautiful river,
Yeah, it sure is.
and we'll do another show here today. And
I don't know why I'm wearing sweats, but that's kind
well,
of dumb.
I wore jeans today too. I don't know why too, but this morning it's really beautiful out there.
Oh,
You can't
fantastic.
complain.
This is fantastic.
But quick summary with the Bills. Handled business quite well.
Very well.
A few people had picked the Raiders to win.
The Raiders.
But I know Vegas and everybody did not. But after the first drive, apparently one of the local analysts from around here, nobody would know, it was a weird name, had said, Sean, it's time to give up the defensive coordinator position and go to, get a real one in here. Well, they gave up 3 points the rest of the way.
Yeah, outscored 38-3. I did lose it too. So I ran down the end of my section, and there's the top of the dugout suites. I jumped over the rail onto the dugout suites and took a flying dive in the lower bowl and said, fuck you,
Guys,
McDermott.
teams script out a lot of times their first series.
And they do score.
Kudos to them. Teams do score, and the Raiders aren't poor. Garoppolo's a pretty good quarterback. Devontae Adams and stuff.
They got some players. Now, what we said last week came true. If they can run on you, he's a great game manager.
Right.
But guess what? We shut
the Bills
run
couldn't
down.
run, and
We shut it down, and certainly then he became a deer in the headlights.
and everybody, the Raiders were beaten up front by both sides of our lines.
Both lines.
Offensive line, and they apparently in practice they used the kid from
Jonathan.
Kingsley
Jonathan was
to
emulate 98.
and he did kudos to him, and Spencer Brown and Deion Dawkins did a great job on him.
Yeah. they
So
really did.
and Josh was Josh. He took what he gave him. I will say that our local guys with GR said, "Well, let's see what he can do against a real team." I'm really done with the nonsense with that.
Yeah.
These teams are all good. The league is set up for quarterbacks to succeed.
They sure is.
And Josh, when he takes what he can, now he ran the first drive when we got the ball. He ran out of bounds, took a 1-yard sack.
Yeah.
Boo birds.
It was boo.
Well, we don't
What if
want
he
Josh
throws
to
it?
force the ball for a pick, and now it's 14.
Or put his head down and get crushed for a
Right.
2-yard gain. No.
It's a long game, and they're not going to be 63-0. The NFL wants 65-64.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And that was really shown last night. I didn't stay on long in that Giants game because it was horrible. But
Right.
I watched San Francisco get 4 or 5 chances from the red zone after defensive holding, after pass interference, after defensive holding. And one time, I thought Daboll threw down his headset. He was screaming at the refs.
You got to wonder. I will say kudos to Aaron Cromer, and I don't know if the Bills, and now I'll curse them, had a holding call in the game.
I don't believe they did.
And I don't think
4
they did
penalties.
the
I
week
don't think
before.
any holding.
Kudos to those guys, and they played well against a really nice front. Now it's not the front of the Jets,
Or even Washington coming up, but
they
it's,
did a nice job.
It's an NFL front.
Yep.
Period.
Um,
And we ran nicely, and boy, what a nice game by Cook. That
yes.
kid,
And
slashing.
congrats to him. He just had his second child, I
He
believe.
had his
as
child. Then
And,
also he had, I think he's 5th in the NFL since he started. Now last year was part-time in yards gained after contact. He just doesn't go down easily.
And we saw why the Bills brought in the Syracuse kid,
Murray
Murray and Damian Harris.
Oh, what a nice
That's
game!
a nice pick there, right?
I really like when they come in the game and we need a yard or two, and they give them the ball. That pile's moving.
I just will say though, I would love to see we call it the pig package. Spread it out and let the guy jump the gap there, right? I don't know. I just too much overthinking it. Whatever. Let's see.
But very well. A game was called very well. We're watching Miami game the other night. The win was there for the taking on Monday Night Football, and I watched as New England came back. And New England's not a good team. I'm sorry. You can say whatever you want, Belichick, whatever. They're not a good team. They came back and they basically were awarded a first down, and then they went to the eye in the sky in New York, and it was reversed. They felt that they could tell from up there 2 inches. So the game was over.
The experts before the game there all said this is a great Miami offense, but Bill will dial it up. Well, Bill had no answers. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Belichick's had his moments, but the real claim to fame came with
Tommy Boy.
with a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Let's stop the nonsense.
Exactly.
Stop all the nonsense with that. And as the game wore on, New England could have beaten them.
Like I said, they were close.
You know?
And that reversal with 2 minutes to go was critical because they were going in for a tying touchdown. But in any event, look, I think it's really, I know it's early and this could come back to haunt me, but I think it's us in Miami for the division. Jets aren't going to do without a quarterback. New England doesn't look good to me, and that's what it's going to come down to. So
it's a long way.
It's a long way.
It kind of looks like that too.
Win this week, and then let's have the Finns in here.
And by the way, Matt Ariza is still out there and available, and this Sam Martin scares me when he punts.
Oh, they're going to be blocked. We talked about it.
This Matt Ariza is out there, and oh my God, I don't want to hear about any of that stuff. You got the groper there in Cleveland, and
by the way, he sucks. And next year and the year after, his cap hit is $62 million.
And here's another thing I'm going to throw out real quick. Fields has been struggling this year with the Bears.
Chicago. Yeah.
He came out and blamed coaching. And then he thought about it after practice, whatever, and he kind of reworded it. And some analysts today on the NFL Network were saying, well, you can't blame him. They're coaching. Coaching, I said, these guys come out with athletic ability, and then when things go wrong at the pro game, they rely back to their athletic ability. We see it with Josh.
That's right.
But coaching, right? But when the guy in Baltimore who made Lamar Jackson whatever he was,
right,
and got that huge deal or whatever, he was holding Lamar back, coaching. It's just such hypocrisy.
And the bottom line,
what was the guy's name? He was a Bills guy too.
No, I know what you mean, but the bottom line is
you probably
that
got it already, but
he can't throw.
No, but yes, coaching is huge for these quarterbacks, the quarterback whisperers and all that stuff. But you didn't give the guy in Baltimore, he was holding Lamar back.
Yeah, and basically he designed an offense that said, look, you're not as great as a thrower, but you can run, so this is what we're going to do.
Let's do it.
And he got the NFL Player of the Year.
Right,
MVP.
and now this guy wasn't any good, but now Fields needs a coach, whatever.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's
Sabres, just sorry for Matty Savoy. Got seconds into the third prospects game, he slams into the wall, and he's got some kind of shoulder problem. They're hoping he can be back by the first game, but at that point, without a camp, he's probably going back to juniors, and that's too bad.
Maybe
it's not the end of the
we'll
world.
See,
because we got guys, but
the prospects camp, the Sabres prospects looked very, very good.
We got so many of them,
and they also played Pittsburgh, who basically had, and I'm not saying this because I'm mad or anything, an AHL lineup.
Yeah.
Against us, they came in with practice jerseys with no numbers. They put tape. It was like Tony from Mass. I don't know if you listened to it or whatever, but
no,
the guys doing the game says we can't even tell the numbers of these guys. It's really Mickey Mouse by the Penguins. But we were the better team the second half of that game. We just couldn't score. We also sat some of our big guys because when you invite these people in, you guarantee them at least a game.
That's right, and that they were saying that there was nothing left to prove for our studs, and they had to go to camp Thursday, yesterday.
So we gave a lot of our guys a rest, but some of those prospects are looking really nice.
Oh man, we're going to have a very good AHL team and a really good NHL team, and I'm so excited.
Don't be surprised if before the season starts, Adams pulls off some kind of a trade. Maybe just for high draft picks because you want to keep that covered. We got a lot of talent at a similar age group right now.
Right.
And they might want to take a little more of a look, but don't be surprised.
Well, not everybody can make it either, so you've got to make your determination. It's great if you want to leave them in the AHL, but at what point do you say, look, let's get something for them? Because they have to be salivating in places like Boston.
Well, yeah.
I don't want to go to Boston or Tampa, but they got to be salivating. So there's a lot of teams that there's nothing left on the file.
One of the goalies that was here was an invitee who didn't play poorly, but the other one was a draft pick who played very well too.
Yeah, first game. I like that kid.
Our commercial flagship station here, which by the way, you go 100 yards away and you get static.
Oh my God. I got a brand new vehicle. And I thought it was the radio. And when GR's on in there,
it's horrible.
It's pop. It sounds like a stone is hitting your windshield. So then I said, well, it's got to be the radio. So I turn on anything else, 97 Rock, Sirius, no such thing. They're horrible.
GR's complaining that we haven't made any moves at goal. Adams has come out and said he loves the goaltending situation he has right now.
And they keep saying it to him.
What was available?
You know his answer. Stop it. And if the first week or first month or two we're really like at 4 goals against and things aren't working out, maybe you can talk about it. But right now, he's made his decision. They pay him to make that decision, and I personally think it's
And
right.
who are we going to get?
And
Carter Huttebuck or whatever his name is.
Hellebuck.
Nobody's offered him anything.
Well, he wants 5-year
And
at
he's 30 years old.
probably 80
Right,
a year.
no.
So then Devin Levi has to be traded because he'll never play here.
No, and give UPL
Oh,
did not have the greatest numbers in
but
the
he
minors.
he had a nice streak in January where he
Right.
won like 9 of 11 games. Listen, don't give up. Goalies do not make it till 25, 26.
It takes a while. The kid in that they rushed in Philly
Yep,
started off hot, tailed off, and now he's
coming
kind of
back.
regained
Hart,
his
Corey
confidence.
Hart is it?
And
or-
this, and this Devin Levi is a different kind of an animal. I think
I think so.
I think Adams has met with him quite a bit. The scouting that the Sabres do is top notch, and they know his mentality. And I don't think goals bother him.
No, he's ready
It
to
just
play.
stops the next puck, right?
I know. I'm excited. They started camp yesterday. I think Sunday nights they're going to do 7 preseason games.
Well, they
Seems
play
little
a scrimmage
crazy.
on Saturday and then like 7, but they're going to need it to thin out some of this. But
Yeah.
training camp isn't what it used to be. Like it's really just scrimmage, you
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
And chemistry gets built and stuff like that. But I like the talent. I forgot about Eric Johnson and
Well, they put Clifton. They put Clifton in the first couple practices next to Darlene, and they said, he was waxing poetic about the pair. Now it's early, and they're going to switch people around.
I
But
still think Samuelson's the guy there, but maybe then he ends up with
they had him with power. Yeah.
Right, that could be good too. And
But
another.
that's if you think about it. Sorry to interrupt. That's a hell of a top 4 defense.
And we're forgetting
Oh.
Stillman
You got Stillman
and
and Eric Johnson. Yes, he's not young, but God, you put a guy like that in a situation on third pair.
and Ryan Johnson looked very good again in the prospects camp. He'll prosper from going down to Rochester for a little bit, but look for maybe a deal there too with a Henry
Hokiaru.
and maybe a Victor Olofsson.
Yep.
Because we are going to need, believe it or not, a little bit of cap space.
Yes, we are.
We're not in trouble, but we got some guys that we're going to have to keep and take care of. And the cap is expected to go up pretty good. But, yeah, just saying, don't expect maybe bodies back, maybe like a first or a second round pick and some kind of combo deal because keep that cupboard stocked.
Well,
Right.
you know what I like too is I was thinking about Johnson, and I love what they're doing. They said he's not going to play the power play in Rochester, even though he's great at it,
Right.
because he won't play it here. So they said we're just going to get him killing penalties and 5-on-5.
And
I love it.
one thing too, I listened to the Sabres prospects, but listening to Seth Elbert, he's the coach in
Rochester.
and Granado, they're on the same page.
Yep.
And this team comes back.
Yeah,
They hustle back. They forecheck.
they forecheck
The other night,
relentlessly.
the Pittsburgh Penguins started playing physical against us. We turned the game around and got physical right back with them.
Right,
And and we've teamed up.
it's exciting.
People don't think much of it, but this Jacksonville team in the ECHL.
Yep.
It's like a hockey hotbed, and the Sabres, I think, made a pretty cool move there because it's a real cool place to play. Kind of like the Bisons in the '80s.
Of the AAA, yeah.
Well, no, the AHL with baseball.
Oh, that's
with
what I meant.
baseball, right?
Yeah.
Where a lot of
I
people,
agree.
it was like really, they're doing something like that down in Jacksonville. It's a big thing.
I wish they would have went to the Everblades, which is in
Closer to
Fort
where
Myers.
you are?
Yeah, I would go watch them. That's literally about 15 miles from my place. But anyway, and they go crazy. They've won 2 in a row now in ECHL. So they fill that stadium, 6,800.
Yeah, they really do. It's fun,
Pretty
and
cool.
I think the Sabres made a nice move there.
Yeah.
Changing all of that.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very disgusted with what's going on in our country, and
Do tell.
the few things happened this week that really they pissed me off. Okay, and I'm begging for Baby Kisser to come down this street. And guys, it's time to bring it up because it's that time of the year where you're going to get people knocking on your doors and stuff. If anybody votes for a Democrat, even if it's a family member, you've got to ask them, why are you in that party? It's satanic, it's anti-Christian, it's anti-white, and more importantly, it's anti-U.S.
Amen.
This border is being invaded. 10,000 came over the other day.
Yeah.
The Biden administration removed the wire and the flotility
Floating balls,
devices that the Governor Abbott put in. They removed it. Cameras down there are all been removed by Biden's people. By the way, Biden's not running this country.
No.
Let's just say Democrats.
Yeah, probably
That is disgusting.
Obama and Hillary.
In the city here, they had a meeting yesterday to tell everybody not a single dime is coming from the Erie County coffers, Erie County taxpayers. I've been told by Monica Wallace not a single dime from New York State
Flat out lie,
taxpayers.
Tom.
All right. Well, then all this freebie stuff, gimme Jimmy. I had to just wait 6 months for my son's wheelchair. My buddy Pete lays in shit in Garden Gate. Gimme Jimmy. I want some. But the truth is, nothing's free. We're being lied to. All right. We're paying for the lawyers for the rapists over there on Dingens.
We're paying for schools. These kids are going to our schools.
They're going to our schools.
And they don't speak the language, so we're getting people in to translate. Where do you? That's not free.
And I hear these morons, and that's what you are, that say they do the jobs Americans don't want. Bullshit.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
maybe 10% of them.
Bullshit.
The rest are like drug lords and criminals and socialists and spies.
And more importantly, a couple other things happened. 2 black youths, 17 years old, were driving in a stolen car.
No.
Filming with their phones, because they all had the phones.
No phones.
They were looking to kill somebody, run somebody over. They found a gentleman. They ran him over. They showed it. The guy hits the dash.
He was riding his
flies
bike.
up and over.
Riding his bike. They laughed and said,
and then
we got him.
Showed his body on the ground and laughed about it. It turned out it was a retired police officer just out for a bike ride. They laughed about it. Where was the outcry? You only saw it on one news agency, which they're trying to shut down.
Fox.
Where was the outcry from the president, from the attorney general, from the Reverend Sharpton, civil rights? Where was it?
Yeah. Corey.
Now they don't want these kids, and I do agree, they don't want them charged as adults. I do agree. I don't believe they should be charged as adults either, because anybody that do something like that is not an adult. They're an animal and need to be put out of their misery.
Yeah, let's put them down.
There is no recuperating or restoring anything there.
No, put them down. And by the way, that's a hate crime, okay, but was not identified as such.
I didn't even know about it. It was just dumb luck. A young man, a history of law enforcement in California. His uncle is I think his granddad and his dad. He became a Los Angeles County sheriff. He got engaged in the morning, went to his job, left the police station, pulled up to a stop sign, a car pulled up alongside, and blew his brains out. He was assassinated.
That's an assassination.
The citizens there were outraged. They put some stuff on the news. They helped catch this guy. The family came out the next day at the press conference. Who wasn't there? The governor
Gavin Newcock.
or Garcon, the Soros appointee.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Funded. They all asked, the family, the captain, and the union president begged, the word was begged, Garcon to do the right thing and prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. He was not at the news conference, and he came out today and said he is not going to do that because the man he's insane.
He's got mental issues.
And not guilty by mental issues. Okay, that's number 2. That when we had this stuff happening here in Buffalo, and by the way, Merrick Garland was drilled the other day. If you can't tell a liar by a guy stuttering, this guy was stuttering, sweating, and shitting his pants.
Yeah.
He could not answer why his FBI was investigating traditional Catholics. Couldn't answer.
Couldn't answer.
And the dual standard of justice in this country is just appalling. But he did say, because Representative Bush from the great state of Missouri wants the prisons closed, there is an over amount of blacks and browns being incarcerated.
They're overrepresented.
Okay, well, how about not doing crime? But Garland did say, I'm willing to work with you with that. And we are working on a case in Buffalo where a white supremacist shot 5 black people or whatever. He's not a white supremacist. He's a toothless, mental midget coward.
Yep.
And he should be hung.
And we know that.
Everybody was there. The governor, the Sharpton, the civil rights, the Flynn. Everybody was there for that.
Yep.
And we're going to prosecute.
When those 2 black kids in California ran over that retired police officer, black man came on social media and said, I tell you what, that's a hate crime. And he said, that should be, everybody should have been there. That's a hate crime. But he goes, if that's reversed and it's 2 whites in the car and they run over a black, that would be, you'd have everybody there. He goes, so this double, and this was a black man that said it, this double standard is a joke.
The slur stick was out the other day talking in front of the UN, which, by the way, many of our so-called allies were so glad that we're back. Weren't there. we were tongue lashed by the Iranian president on our grounds.
Our grounds.
Tongue lashed.
And we just gave him, what, $6 billion?
$6 billion. When the Israeli representative was holding his picture of a woman who was killed in Iran last year because she wore her Gurkha wrong. He's holding the picture. When that gentleman left the UN, he was arrested.
Oh my.
Now, not by U.S. authorities,
US,
by
no.
the UN authorities because of trying to disturb the meeting. But
Oh.
we bend over to Ahmad Akwak.
That's
all right?
Suck my cock.
But the slur stick came out and said that $25 billion has been sent to the Transcontinental Bank so we can start helping African countries turn green for real. Remember that term. He also slurred some other shit out. Later that day I heard
Turn green.
that Bill and Hillary in the 8th I'm
Oh,
Not,
I'm Hillary the Eighth. Oh, yeah.
some heiress from Hyatt and a bunch of jackass actors in Hollywood are forming a group to rebuild the Ukraine. The war isn't even over yet.
Yes,
And
all we gotta
who's-
do is knock them down again.
But here's the interesting thing. Who's funding Bill and Hillary? The Transcontinental Bank.
No.
So in other words, U.S. taxpayers are funneling money over there to
Oh.
rebuild because, you know, that's a democracy. And they had Zelensky over here talking about all of a sudden countries going underwater with this global warming. Now, don't get me started on that, but he's trying to hit home on topics.
Yeah.
I don't like what the Russians are doing to those people either. They're innocent people that just lived alone. But it's not a democracy. What that is over there is totalitarianism,
Totalitarian.
dictatorship. Zelensky got rid of the news and radio stations that didn't say what he wanted said.
Yeah.
And
Nobody
see, that's
talks
what,
about that.
That's what these shit sticks want here. There's a curious covering going on over there in the Ukraine. My sister uncovered a story that had Russian soldiers coming upon this complex with a lot of kids that were being sexually molested
Oh,
and what do they call it? What's shipped around, trafficking.
No traffic.
All right, now you can say that's wacko and that, but now all of a sudden Bill and Hillary are involved in the Ukraine.
Well, Bill's probably he's probably the CEO.
Because we know Epstein committed suicide after that. And we also have heard that there's these Fauci labs over there in the Ukraine too. So keep your eyes on that crap, guys. But we're being lied to, big time. Lied to.
You know, I worried about mosquitoes in Africa because I think they should put these giant nets up in Africa, not for the people, but these poor mosquitoes that are biting them to protect them from AIDS.
Well, we're putting up
And TB.
We're spending You know, New York City, which is going bankrupt on these illegals. Now they want to start dipping into the retirement funds. But their big Common Council meeting the other day by Representative Nurse was to tear down statues of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Columbus.
Yeah.
Because they stand for racism.
Yeah.
No, they fucking don't.
No.
Okay?
Done with it.
How do we know what Martin Luther King did? I love John Kennedy. He wasn't the perfect person.
Yeah.
They're statued and immortalized for what they did for this great country. That's why all these fucks are coming in here for free. All right? But they want to tear these statues down. They got money for that, okay? I'm done with the racism and the slavery and the nooses on a garage door are illegal. We're giving money to Africa to build a transcontinental train. Think about it. A transcontinental, which will be built by slaves.
But not only that, what the fuck is it for?
I have no idea. You'd have
They're
to ask
swinging on vines over
You'd
there.
have to ask the slur stick. He talks about that. He talks about Africa. We talk about electric and electric and electric.
They're shitting in the
Yeah,
nail.
people, the Chinese are using Congolians as slaves to work in lithium mines.
Unbelievable.
I mean, hypocrisy it's running
Rampant,
rampant.
yeah.
Satan is loose. Representative Kennedy in the Senate the other day stood up and read from Gender Queer, and Schumer told him to stop. He shouldn't bring porno to the chambers. He goes, "I'm not. This is what you want our kindergarten kids in that to read."
Beautiful.
Gender Queer.
That's beautiful.
Right? There was a bike. They asked Mayor Garland, whatever the hell his name is, what do you think about people in the middle of the afternoon on a Sunday riding their bicycles nude in front of kids and everything? And he goes, well, I think you contact your local officials. And he goes, well, I did contact all my local officials, got no answer. So I emailed you and sent you 2 letters. And I haven't heard from you.
What about Jean-Pierre Bonnethead?
No, she's
So what's the name? Ducey?
Peter Ducey.
Ducey. He goes, so what does the White House think about 10,000 illegals coming through the border yesterday alone? And she goes, well, the Republicans. And Ducey goes, no, 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 no. Don't talk about the Republicans. What do you feel about 10,000 illegals coming through yesterday? And she wouldn't answer him. She went on, next question.
Stop with they're doing the jobs Americans don't want. That is, you're buying a bunch of bullshit. I got land to sell you.
Yeah.
Outside of Houston.
No H, Houston.
Right. Some guy is selling land to illegals for basically nothing, $1. No social security numbers, nothing needed. He's holding the mortgages for these people. They say it looks like a shit city. There's flags of every other country hanging there. This is just outside of Houston.
Oh my God.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing?
And then our vice president, and I don't care if she's black, pink, or green, okay?
She's an idiot.
I talk to kids, young people, who are afraid to have children and buy houses because of global warming. No, they're not. They can't afford them. Any kind of a decent house is $500,000 that needs work.
Exactly.
I mean, you dumb son of a bitch. They want to have kids because they can't afford them. It's unbelievable.
Turn to turn.
It's just unbelievable. So I can't stomach it. Elections are coming up in November.
Yep.
And I want to see what happens.
And let's bring it home here with Paul and Dick. I mean, this guy is the biggest phony that ever walked, and they had some kind of discussion last night against, Casillo, the Republican, Chrissy Casillo.
Guys, and it's costing us a lot of money. We're going broke on it.
Oh, my God.
And one last thing, too. Randy Weingartner, I'm butchering her name, forgive me or whatever. She was in the Ukraine. She's the teachers union president across the country.
Right.
What is she doing in the Ukraine?
What are you doing there?
And in Baltimore, I guess 50% of the schools failed basic math.
That's right.
So right away they're blaming the teachers and the union officials. Now I'm going to stand up for Randy Weingartner here.
Yeah.
If my kid comes home from school and he can't add, that's on me.
Oh, absolutely.
That's on these teachers.
Get
We are
involved.
developing, especially here in Buffalo, turnips.
Turnips.
What's the difference between a turnip taking a test and some kid in downtown Buffalo? Well, the kid downtown will probably score a little more because it can write. A turnip can't write. And that's the one last thing, a mosque. They went into a mosque downtown in Buffalo here and disrupted the service. So the reporter came down, he was interviewing I don't know if it's a priest, whatever you call him, and he said it happens all the time.
A rabbi. Yeah.
Flynn, everybody, we're going to prosecute the highest extent of the law. Oh, no. Because it was two black men that came in.
No
it's
hate
not a
crime
hate
there?
crime.
No.
Then they drove by and got on the reporter. Two black guys screaming at him.
Screaming at
Listen, racism's running rampant. It wears all kinds of different clothes.
You
All
got
right?
that right.
There's no more respect. And one last one that really got me.
Go ahead.
68-year-old man, Korean, U.S. Korean, in Philadelphia, I think. I'm not sure exactly where. Ran his jewelry store. Their dad retired, turned it over to the kid. No, I want to keep going. A man came in the store. It's all on the store cameras. He literally pistol whipped the guy for a half an hour,
Oh.
kicking him. Then filled his bags with goods.
Oh.
Kicked him and hit him some more. The man is still recovering. Cameras picked it up. He went out. He had a pair of shorts and this red tank top and got on a bicycle, took off, and did ring the horn before he crossed the street. He did do that. And everybody said, well, we know who that guy is. But anyways, pawn shop.
Was this?
calls-
I'm sorry. Was this in Philly?
Might have been in Philly.
Stunning.
Pawn shop guy calls and say, the guy's here. He's selling
All the shit he just
stuff.
stole.
Well, they come, they arrest him. I don't know all the details, but they arrest the guy. He has everything bagged. He's wearing the jewelry, and he has it bagged for street sales. Oh, it was in Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay.
Went to court.
Very close to Philly.
Went to court. They brought in AI, which is artificial intelligence, no kidding. And in the security thing, they use it at Wokeville down there in Florida, Orlando.
Okay.
It can tell a gate and how you walk, all that different stuff, right?
Oh, okay.
Said it's him. The AI, which we want to go to.
Yeah, we got to go to AI.
It's this guy, hung jury, because he was wearing a mask.
Oh my
All right.
God.
Sources say
Oh,
Georgie Soros got involved.
no.
This is what's going on. If that store owner shoots that guy,
And he goes away.
he goes up for charges. Black woman was beat up on the subway the other day in New York. Nobody helped, and the daughter said, "Well, it's probably because my mom was black." No, it's because they'll get arrested.
Yeah, we've seen.
I don't
that.
want to see anybody beat up, and if you get involved, you get charged by these jackasses.
I was in Delaware one me with my family, me and Bo. And,
You know, I remember seriously before I went to my prom, my dad put me on my lap and he said, "Son, I want to tell you something before the prom." But son, did you pinch a loaf again? No, in all sincerity, I don't even want to laugh at this guy anymore. He's a complete and utter disappointment. He's an asshole, and he's not running the country. He stumbled off the UN stage.
Yeah.
The Brazilian president is sticking his hand out. By the way, Brazil's not involved in global warming. India's not. China's not. And we all remember Brazil.
Baby.
When they had to cancel beach volleyball, my favorite sport in the Summer Olympics, because human stool was rolling ashore.
Because the shit they couldn't in the Olympics they couldn't use the ocean
So
because
guys,
it was their stool.
Why I bring it up? Because soon you're going to go to a mall, you're going to go somewhere, and one of these guys are going to knock on your door. Let them have it, or give them my number, because you can't vote Democrat anymore.
No,
you can't.
And please do not re-elect this freaking polling cards. You've got to be.
We got a senator that can't go to the halls of our great country in a suit. He's got to wear shorts so his fat can stick out in a hoodie. And Schumer changes the rules for him. Do you know he was voting from the hallway?
Oh my God.
He was voting from the hallway. Who votes for shit like this?
Well,
he's never had a job in his life.
He's a Frankenstein-looking thing too. What a disgrace to the state of Pennsylvania should be just. They should be ashamed of themselves.
This country is heading nowhere fast. It's being destroyed. It's a great country. It's being destroyed. Stop it with the jobs that nobody else does. Stop it with the burning books. It's not The Catcher in the Rye and Scooby-Doo and Huck Finn. Yeah. It's friggin' porno. And I'm done. I'm done with the racism. I'm done with white supremacy. I'm done with it.
Yeah, we all are. And it's
done with it.
So make a difference. In November, vote Republican. Next November, get that cadaver out of office. And I don't know who's going to run against him, but just get the Dems out of office.
Sum it up. Bills beat Washington. McDermott will come up with a D that'll baffle their young quarterback.
Yep.
I don't have a problem with that.
Oh, I hope Floyd's okay. He didn't practice.
He practiced today.
Oh, he did good.
He did practice today.
Good to hear.
And go Bills. That's the only thing that gets my mind off it. And the Sabres and stuff like that.
Sabres
but guys,
it's
getting shitty. And they knock on your door, let them have it, or send them my way.
Yeah.
Meeting downtown with the illegals, and they don't invite anybody from Cheektowaga.
But we're housing them here in 2 different hotels.
And guys, if you're only living in a house all by yourself, it's coming. Can you take some of these guys from Shaka?
Not only that, if you are living alone, make sure you have a gun.
Oh, they want to take the guns away from us.
Because
how do we defend ourselves?
They're coming in. Well, I got to get Duke off me to turn the camera off. Is that all right?
That's how they march from the island of.
Tom, I'm not sure I can get Dookie off.
Come on, Dookie Duke.
I got to get Dookie off me. We got to turn off the camera,
Anyways,
Duke.
guys, enjoy the weekend.
Till next week.
Go Bills.
For we are here to cheer for you.
Warming, guys, it's snowing in the Rocky Mountains just like it does every year.
Well
July. Timmy's live. He's going to investigate some more of that stuff in New York. Be safe, T.
Take care, guys.
Oh.
Bye.